What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. And look, y'all remember me talking about the whole Romeo and Master P situation and me talking about how I believe that Master P does a lot of shady things, but a lot of people don't bring it up out of their respect and their reverence for Master P, right? Because during the time in the 90s, everybody talked about how P always fed his artists. Everybody appreciated how P saved Snoop from No Limit. I mean, not from No Limit, from Death Row and Suge Knight, and how he intervened and helped Snoop have a safe haven to continue his career, so on and so forth. But I said I noticed a lot of narcissistic qualities in P, a lot of manipulative qualities in P, even manipulative amongst his children, right? Now it's very good. It's great that he reconciled with his son, because P and Romeo reconciled, and and they made up and hashed things out. That's very good. That's great. However, that does not absolve Master P from doing a lot of stuff that he's done, including certain situation that he had with Kodak and a situation that he had with Fat Trel that Fat Trel brought to light during his No Jumper interview. So Fat Trel is a rapper from DC, had a lot of momentum. Back in like 2012, 2013, he was doing songs with Chief Keef. That Russian Roulette song with Chief Keef was fire, right? Trel was out here buzzing. Now he says that during that time, he had a lot of momentum and so on and so forth. P contacted him, and P told him, hey, I want you to come to California to do this movie. I got this movie idea I want y'all to do. I think it was supposed to be like he said Menace to Society 2, which sounds janky as hell and just knock off in itself anyway, right? Like, it just sounds like Menace to Society 2, brother. Like, come on, bro. Like, whatever. It is. Anyway, so he tells Fat Trel he wants him in the movie. He said, Alley Boy, I got an Alley Boy in the movie too. I want you to come out here. So Fat Trel says he goes out there, and he said anything around that time, I was glad for any opportunity because, I'm just getting started in the rap game. I'm making waves. And for me to even be in a movie, I never thought about acting, but it would be a good look for me. So he goes out to California to go talk with P. P tell him, look, we're going to do the movie, this, that, and the third, but I need you to move out to California for about at least a year, 2 years. I need you to live out here in California. So Fat Trel, he really didn't want to leave, but he like, okay, whatever, cool. He said, I accepted it, but I really didn't understand the cost of living differences out in California, so on and so forth. He said, so I come out there, the movie never even gets talked about anymore. The movie never comes out. We don't do no rehearsing for nothing. None of that goes on. The whole time, we keep going to the studio every single day. Not every single day, but a lot. We meeting up, making all type of songs, doing a whole lot of music recording. We recording a lot of music. And I'm starting to scratch my head like, what's going on here? He said even his homie was like, this don't feel right. This don't sound right, right? So he recording all of this music. Now, Master P is giving him a stipend to live in California because Fat Trel is a new artist. He ain't made a whole bunch of money yet. His momentum is just starting to happen. He's just starting to get buzz. So he hasn't profited off of his music like that yet because P done already scooped him up in the midst of him bubbling, right? Bubbling in the rap game. P done scooped him up and took him under his wing. So P giving him a stipend to live out there, and which is necessary because Trel ain't been doing no performances. He ain't been touring off of his songs or nothing at that point like that. Not like that to get no real bread. So he said, eventually they keep recording all of this music. He like, we doing too much recording. Something ain't right. So he said eventually one of his homies brings to light that, because Master P forms the Louis V mob with Alley Boy and Fat Trel, which made some great music because Alley Boy and Fat Trel was rapping their ass off for sure. And they even had P sounding a little youthful on the song. We said, okay, P sounding a little youthful. He said one of his homies finds out that all them songs, they got it on iTunes for sale. They got a whole album out for sale. And Fat Trel knows nothing about it. Alley Boy knows nothing about it, right? And P done had them boys out there performing at concerts, performing at shows, singing these songs. They not getting paid for the performances. They not getting paid for doing the shows. Now, P done released some music on iTunes for sale with their lyrics, their voice, with them they not getting no cuts. They not getting no cut of the money. They didn't even know the album came out because P didn't want them to know that because he wanted to keep all the money for himself and give them the little money that he wanted to get him. That's shiesty as hell. That's super shiesty, right? And that's why I'm very weary of a lot of the old heads, a lot of the older generation trying to take you under their wing as the OG, because a lot of them pull off manipulative shit like P did in order to, and then say it's in the name of it's in the name of them being your OG. They pull off manipulative shit and then chalk it up to them being your OG. Man, that's why I don't want no OG. Get your ass from around me. Because a lot of them do stuff like that, especially when they feel like the young kids are naive. And P know that them boys are naive, and a lot of people have so much reverence for P, they let a lot of stuff slide. And Fat Trel said, my manager, he grew up listening to P. Fat Trel, like, I didn't grow up listening to P. I grew up listening to Wayne, Gucci, so on and so forth, because that was my era. Master P wasn't my era. But my manager, that was his era. So he looking at P like a god figure, almost like a deity. So he's letting this shit fly over his head. He letting stuff go, letting stuff go. And I'm not letting it go. I'm looking at it for what it is because I didn't grow up with that same type of reverence for P, right? But that's crazy. P got them boys performing songs, doing shows, he ain't giving them no money. And he giving them a little stipend, but he ain't getting them, they not getting paid for them performances. And they doing all this music, releasing all this dope music, and them boys not getting a cut of it. They don't even know the album came out because P don't want them to know, right? That's crazy. And people like, well, that sound like P was just paying, he was giving them a stipend, bro. What the fuck is a stipend to live in expensive ass California when you're being used for recording music so that someone else can make money off of it? Man, let's be for real. Master P finessed them boys. He finessed them to and use their momentum to get No Limit back hot again so he can get some money under his label without them even being under contract. Now, mind you, P got them boys performing songs and all of that and making an album. They not even under contract signed with P. They just making music, and he got them thinking it's for the soundtrack for the movie. He got them thinking they doing songs for the movie. And he like, yo, it's not adding up. It's too much damn music. What's going on, right? And at the time, he said he brought it to Alley Boy. Alley Boy like, well, shit, at least we got a song. At least we got an album with Master P. But Alley Boy cool with it because Alley Boy is up right now. He been making money. He been doing shows. He got songs on, he was signed to Atlantic. He got shows on MTV. I mean, he got songs and videos on MTV. He doing well for himself. Fat Trel ain't in that position. So he looking like, bro, nah, bro. This ain't it, bro. I don't like that, right? So come on, fam. P leveraged that boy's momentum to get his own profit for No Limit, and to get No Limit back popping without them boys signing, and for No Limit to get a whole lot of money off of them boys, and do it he did it in a slick, in a slick way. He did it in a slick way, so them boys, so No Limit can get all the finances and get all the earnings, and them boys couldn't get it. That's foul to me. Selling music under Fat Trel's name without even telling him, and Trel not getting a piece of it? Come on, fam. Would any of y'all out there be cool with somebody taking your songs that you made, that you wrote, the lyrics that you wrote and you performed, and putting them on iTunes for purchase without your consent, and you not getting no piece of the pie? Hell no. Y'all would be pissed off. P leveraged that man's momentum in the rap game to earn a profit for No Limit and get No Limit. I don't know whether out of debt, because you know Romeo was saying they've been in debt, living check to check for a while, you know, and P get on there and show one big house and make it seem like he just multi super ultra wealthy. And I believe all of that. Romeo wasn't lying on that man, right? What's his brother name? C Murder ain't lying on P, even though he could be upset because he's locked up in prison, and sometimes people that's in jail get pissed off and they get upset, and you know they get all type of animus put inside of them for certain things, but I don't think C Murder lying, right? Kodak Black wasn't lying when he said he wanted to do the toy drive for the kids, and he said, you know, Kodak was like, man, I would love to talk to Master P, and then Master P, Charlemagne linked Master P up with Kodak, and then Master P get mad that Kodak don't want to go through the company he got going on to get the backpacks and book bags. Kodak was like, okay, I got my company I'm going through. You can use your company. We can come together, and then we can do the book bag giveaway for the kids in Florida. P getting mad because Kodak ain't going through the people he using. He getting mad because he ain't going through the people he using. And I'm thinking maybe P would get a cut of it if he did that. And P mad that Kodak ain't going through the company he using. So P decided not to show up and not to do the backpack giveaway at all, because Kodak didn't acquiesce to his wants and needs and do what he wanted him to do and use his company that he was using. Come on, fam, for real. Like, bruh, nah, man. P be on some shiesty shit, and he needs to get called out for it. Because ain't nothing sheistier than doing that to Fat Trel, using his likeness, his voice, his lyrics to get paid without them boys getting a piece of that money too. And them boys don't even know that the songs are on iTunes because he's afraid that they'll find out that they're being finessed and they'll get mad and won't smoke with P. Right? That's the shit I don't like. And then Fat Trel say, you know, one of his homies passed away. He went to New York for the funeral. He said he never came back to LA. He left all type of clothes, video games, all that out there because he was just like, I had to get away from that situation. Then he said when he went to record labels, Fat Trel said when he was talking to record labels trying to get a deal, Master P was lying and telling other labels that he was signed. He was a No Limit artist and he signed a No Limit. He signed a No Limit so that Fat Trel couldn't sign nowhere else and sign to nobody. But Fat Trel was like, bro, I don't got no contract or no contract with dude. I never signed nothing with dude. And they like, oh, for real? Wow, okay, we can do business now. But he was trying to tell those labels that Fat Trel was a No Limit artist to deter those labels from even fucking with Trel in the first place, from even rocking with Trel and getting him some type of money in his pocket. That's clowned out to me. That ain't what no OG does. That's what a fake OG do. And P got all of that on him. That's why when people be like, y'all don't give Master P enough of his flowers. He need flowers like all these other dudes and all that. Nah, bruh. P get his flowers for certain shit. But certain shit is the reason why he ain't getting his flowers in a certain way. Because of certain stuff he be doing out here. All in the name of looking like he's some type of OG and looking like he's an almighty OG. Now he paid a lot of people. But there's certain people he did shiesty and foul. And he did them like that because he knew that the public, the general public, would always take his word on it, especially when it's young boys. Because the old head generation like to look at young kids as just being ungrateful. No matter how much we got evidence to back up certain stuff that we claiming, no matter how much we got proof that we're being done foul by the OG, a lot of the older generation just going to point the finger at the young kids and say, y'all just ungrateful. You need to be grateful for whatever opportunity you get. Y'all just selfish. Y'all entitled, y'all spoiled, y'all entitled. A lot of the older generation does that to the youth, no matter how much proof we have. And P knows that. So he knows the older generation, his mainstay crowd ain't gonna never go against him, against no damn Fat Trel and no Alley Boy, because the world don't really know them in a way to really be taking their word for it. They love P, and P know the American public love him. Especially in the hip hop industry, so he knows he can do certain shit and get away with it because a lot of the people in his crowd, a lot of the people of his audience are going to make excuses for him no matter what the fuck he do. And P know that. So of course he was trying to get up on Fat Trel and them, man. P does some shiesty stuff and it's coming to light. So all of y'all can have all the reference y'all want for Master P and act like, oh my God, and I'm treating men like men. And when I see certain stuff getting done foul, I'm going to call it out, whether I like the person or not. Whether it's this man or that man right there, I'm going to call it out because guess what? Wrong is wrong and right is right at the end of the day. And Fat Trel ain't lying. Fat Trel don't seem like he got a dishonest bone in his body when he doing that damn interview. He didn't even sound mad at P. He was like, I know what type of dude P is for real. I know what type of dude P is. And that's very telling for him to say it like that. I know what type of dude P really is. And yeah, I know what type of dude P really is. One of them old heads that want you to do whatever the fuck he wants you to do. And when you don't do it, you're ungrateful, you're disloyal, you're entitled, you're selfish, you're spoiled, you're lazy, you're some type of you a clowned out individual, you spoiled, you just one of these young punks that don't listen, all that type of shit. That's why a lot of the older generation, no disrespect to a lot, I love a lot of y'all, but a lot of the older men that try to talk that OG shit, they can never trick me out of my position or make me feel bad about certain stuff that I say or certain stuff that I do if I don't fuck with them. They can never do that to me because I've been raised by a man and a woman who taught us to be upright and be leaders, who taught us to stand on our principles, morals, ethics, and values and stick to our guns no matter what. So I know what I know when it comes to certain individuals. And I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life to ultimately be gifted with, have the gift of discernment at my older age, in my older years. I want to say, at least since I was about 26 on, I've developed a very keen gift of discernment about individuals. And I can see what Master P and how Master P is a mile away. I'm not blinded by the idolatry for him
and the reverence that a lot of the older generation, the generation before me, have for him, I'm not blinded by that. I can see what it is for what it is. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.